Hello, my absolutely beautiful Leos, and welcome to your horoscope for 2023. And what a year we have got on our hands. Planets making moves into whole different signs, really creating a lot of energy in a new direction. Not to mention that I think you're kind of chomping at the bit a little bit as we come into 2023. Like there's an energy of I want to go, I'm ready to go, I'm ready to see some of these things that I've started, like move forward. Or it can also be a little bit of an energy of, okay, I get it, things have been transitioning, I'm ready to move forward. And I have to tell you, and I have to remind you, my beautiful Leo friends, that as we begin this year, we're beginning with Mars and Mercury in retrograde. So it is absolutely from the mind to the action, an energy where you are not going to be able to push or force, because all that is going to lead you into is a bunch of frustration. Instead, beautiful Leos, be the water, go around the rocks. Okay, that's really the energy. So let's get in here and start to explore what this year has to offer, because I want you to get in here. Here's some dates and get out, and let's start doing this. And always keep in mind that while there are going to be retrogrades of Mercury 4 different times this year, those outer planets are going to retrograde. Venus will retrograde. We'll do all of these things, and we're not going to hit everything in this yearly layout, but we will catch everything every week and every month and go so much more in depth. And if you're not already following me on Instagram or joined into my Patreon, make sure you're joining there too for even more in-depth and daily guidance on content and transit ideas, okay? All right, Leo, so right here at the beginning of the year, the first thing to take note of is that yes, Mercury and Mars are retrograde, but Mercury is going to begin its retrogrades in Earth signs this year. So it is really about in the material plane. Okay, earth signs work in the material plane, what's practical, touchable, tangible. So as you're doing retrogrades and you're reevaluating, rethinking this year, what I want you to remember and to keep in mind is that this is going to be really practical things. You're going to need to put your hands on it. You don't need to think too hard about it. It is in a space where you can see it, touch it, taste it, look at it, all of those good and wonderful things. Most importantly, as we're seeing this Mercury retrograde in Capricorn, two things are happening. First of all, it is lighting up your 6th house space. So this is the space of your daily routines, your health, your wellness, your service to other people. Small animals live in this house. If you are a freelance person, this can be projects, co-workers, co-op situations. It can be any of those things, but it's more about, for you, Leo, I think really getting a handle and doing a reevaluation at this time in your life of what your daily routine is really practically bringing into your life, and is it helping you achieve? Now, the second thing that's happening is we're having this retrograde in the same signature energy that we began 2022 with. Remember, we had Venus retrograde over here in this Capricorn energy. So what was going on for you? How have you revalued? Like, what is valuable to you? Where has your revalue been in looking at this 6th house area for yourself? Because if anything has lacked implementation since 2022 in this area of your life, it is really time to use this Mercury to relook at it. You're slowed down anyways. So what do you need for a healthy daily routine, including healthy mental hygiene, right? Now, we've also got this Mars retrograde here in the energy of Gemini, so it's lighting up your 11th house space. Now, as Mars is taking this retrograde here, you're really relooking at friendships, social groups, organizations, your tribe, social media, technology in your life, any of these kinds of issues. Anything in your network, anything in your long range plans, goals, and designs that you needed to get a strategy around, or you need to go back over it and say, okay, what is my desire in this area? Where am I willing to take action in a different way? Where do I need to take action in a different way? Where do I need new people in the network so that they can help me learn, or new people that I can talk to about what I want to learn here? This is an absolutely fantastic energy. Now, we'll see these planets come out of retrograde January 12th and January 18th. So from that time, you can know that some of these ideas and concepts you've been looking at are really refreshed and ready to move forward, okay? Now, as we get to March 7th, we are going to see Saturn move out of the energy of Aquarius, where it's been working. Okay, it's been working, it's been living its best life over there in your 7th house. So you have been working on relationships for some time. Now, whether these are relationships in the form of business, romance, significant partnerships or relationships that were with you for a long time in your life. Because remember, when we're dealing with 7th house and then we're also dealing with Saturn, this is a significant relationship we're talking about. It has had an impact on you in some way. And as Saturn has been traveling through that Aquarian energy, you know, long-standing relationships have maybe needed to change. They've maybe played a vital role in your life for some time, and now it's time for them to get different. And instead, by shedding, changing, adjusting, coming to a different level of maturity, you're able to have long-term, long-lasting, enduring relationships in your life that are really very fulfilling. Now, one of the other concepts that I have around this Saturn traveling through this Aquarian energy for you is really this idea of you demonstrating your mastery in relationships as well, right? Like if you want relationships in your life, are you the person that can handle that kind of relationship? If it's a business relationship, are you developed in your character into the kind of person that can have a business relationship? You want a marriage, or you want to get out of a marriage, right? Because in the 7th house, we're also doing open enemies. And sometimes the open enemy is a legal case, but you know the other person. Sometimes the open enemy is death, right? Like we know death is coming. We know death is a part of our lives, but as it challenges and takes or adjusts these relationships in our life, we have to find out who we are as we stand there and we greet these changes that are coming to us, okay? So as Saturn on March 7th moves into the energy of Pisces now for the next 2.5 years, it's going to light up this 8th house energy. This is joint partnerships, joint resources. Okay, so maybe you're sharing money, or you're in partnership or collaboration or cooperation with another entity. Anything in that partnership realm, vulnerability, sex, intimacy, reproductive organs, needing to detox. But also we drop into the financial matters. We've got, you know, loans, debt, wills, estates, inheritance, retirement. All of these things come under this realm as well. So, you know, one of the things I think of, Leo, is just as an example, if you've had a connection with child support or something like that, or you needed to take out that loan to run that business, these are all energies that Saturn's going to try to help you level up and take it to the next level of your mastery. So this is a great time while Saturn's here to realize a couple things. First of all, if Saturn's movement into this area of your chart feels really painful, feels really heavy or really limiting, or like you are just under pressure, I encourage and invite you immediately to understand that what Saturn is doing there is not limiting you. It is reshaping you, and it is encouraging you to grow. It is encouraging you to mature and realize that discipline and sometimes the stripping away of what is not needed anymore, including the traumas and the burdens that you have carried, it is inviting you to do that work. And on the other hand, if Saturn is running through this area of your life and you are living your best life and you are expanding, understand that Saturn is there celebrating the achievements that you've made. And Saturn is a celebrator. We don't give Saturn enough credit, but Saturn is a celebrator. So when the area can match the vibration you need to move forward, it is going to celebrate your achievement and bring you that long-lasting success, okay? Now, as we are also traveling in March on the 23rd, we are going to see Pluto moving sign. Now, we're not getting the full meal deal here with Pluto moving sign because it's not going to stay here, but we are getting a very sharp indicator of what is coming up next. Now, Pluto has been working in the energy of Capricorn, since 2008. So there has been some time. There's been some energy that has been going on to this. We've already had Mercury retrograde up here in Capricorn. So now, as we're going to look at this Pluto's last bit of energy going here, what we know is that some things have died off, right? There has been some level of depth of daily routine, of conditioning, of maybe even animals in your life that have died off because that companionship could not go further anymore. That routine could not go further anymore, right? We have to be surrendered and we have to be taken down to that energy so that we can die off and live in a phoenixing way. We can live in a different way that allows us to own our power, has access to our depth of knowledge, of grit, not just the width. Right? So there has been a dying off of daily routines that has happened. And I really think too, if this is around work for you, Leo, I would want you to consider, have there been projects that you're like, I don't want to work on that anymore? You know, if you had like an agent or a, you know, in your workplace, did your company get bought out? So now there's a new management team in, or there's a new structure, whatever that is, Pluto could absolutely have been working on that as well. So now as we see Pluto make this shift ever so briefly into the energy of Aquarius on the 23rd, and I really do say briefly because it's going to go retrograde on May 1st and then slide back, and so we're really not getting the full cooking of Pluto in Aquarius until 2024 timeframe. So I really will come back to that, and we will cover that in the weeklies and the monthlies. But as we see Pluto move into Aquarius, this is going to be about this 7th house energy. So again, we've got this conversation of significant relationships, of romance, a partnership of you with the divine energy, you with yourself. Are you treating your body like a partner, or are you treating your body like a slave? What's going on in your business partnerships? Whatever it is, Pluto is giving you an indicator right here, right now, as we get into March, that there is going to be some serious transformation that's coming over here. And transformation is not a scary word. Transformation means a piece of you that you've never known or seen to exist becomes empowered, in control, and rises to the surface to provide a level of vulnerability, intimacy, and beauty that you've not accessed before. So I really want you to take that. It's an invitation for you to take that and understand how potent and important that's going to be for you, okay? When we get to April, we're going to begin our eclipse series. So our first one is going to be April 20th with a new moon solar eclipse happening at 29 degrees of Aries. Now take this to heart. 29 degrees of Aries is an anaretic degree. It means it is significant. It means that what is happening in this Aries area for you, which is the 9th house, publishing, marketing, broadcasting, expansion, higher education, coming up, travel, right? Like your expansion out, you know what is going on. You know, this is 29 degrees. This is not new information for you. You do know what you're working with. And that is, to me, really, really exciting for you, because what it also means is that this particular eclipse, your opportunity to plant your seeds of intention, is that you can call in that foreign travel, new cultures, higher education, a new philosophy, that publishing, marketing, broadcasting, putting your book out there, right? All your plans to expand. You get to plant your seeds of intention to allow them to begin. Now, it can also look like, yes, you plant your seeds of intention for this delicious, I know where I'm going expansion, and it doesn't actually happen until later in the year. This beginning is going to take 3 to 6 months to really continue to pan itself out. So I want you to keep in mind the timing of how things can happen, okay? A couple weeks later, on May 5th, we're going to see a lunar eclipse happening at 14 degrees of Scorpio. Now, the Taurus and Scorpio axes is nothing new. We've been working with that since 2022. So as we look at this particular eclipse in your housing zone, home, family, real estate, property, your family, your roots, women in your life, things around parents. And I also want you to consider when we're talking about home that this time we are talking about like the actual structure or what's going on in your home. You know, is it in good shape, right? These kinds of things can be coming really primarily to your attention as well, okay? So this being a lunar eclipse, it's asking us to end something, acknowledge something, or adjust something. So something might not be in the right alignment. There could be a power dynamic issue going on here. You know, what I want you to remember is that Scorpio is a Pluto and a Mars ruled sign. So at this point in the eclipse, we will have seen Pluto step into retrograde. So the changes, all of the deep changes, you're going back over something, right? Like there is this energy of like, hold on, I just need to get a handle on this. But Mars is direct in the sky at this time. So it's more like I can take action to make the changes in my home zone that need to happen. So very much so an empowered energy. On October 14th, we're going to have a solar eclipse at 21 degrees of Libra, and this is going to light up your third house space. So communication, thinking, decision-making, conversation, contracts, all of that comes into your wheelhouse. So it is a great time under this eclipse, I think, that if you needed to do like more local travel, or there were things going on with siblings, something's going on with a car or a house, buying, selling, you wanted to learn something or you wanted to teach something, all of these third house communications, this is going to be helpful to you to plant your seeds of intention to begin a new experience here. You know, what kind of communication do you need to bring into your life that is going to create more unity, that is going to create more harmony, that's going to create more beauty in your life? Libra is a Venus ruled sign, so I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, from October 14th, looking forward 3 to 6 months, you don't buy something big and beautiful and you love it. You know, creating a partnership in that way. So, you know, signing a contract, creating a partnership, I wouldn't be I wouldn't be surprised at that even a little bit. Okay, our last eclipse of the year, we're going to see October 28th with a full moon lunar eclipse happening at 5 degrees of Taurus. So find that 5 degrees in your chart. And again, we have been looking at this. So this is lighting up your 10th house space. So this is career, your reputation, soul level calling. What do we call you in public? You know, where are you getting recognition in public? All of these kinds of energies. This lunar eclipse is back, and it's back to say, okay, first of all, I want to end something, acknowledge something, or make an adjustment. But this one might be quite surprising because both Uranus and Jupiter are together in Taurus at this particular time as well. So I think this is a really nice boost of energy for you. I think you could feel confident, you can feel empowered by this energy, maybe even a sense of I'm ready to you know, I'm ready to initiate, I'm ready to innovate, I'm ready to go forward. It could absolutely be that. But I do want to tell you that whatever this new direction is that the energy is kind of correcting you to, if it's financial, if it's value, if it's romantic or relational, keep mentors around if you can. No one should be traveling alone. You're going into territory, Leo, that you don't know. You haven't been here and you haven't been this person going through this. So take a mentor with you for absolute certain, so you can just run some things by them, okay? Now, as we are looking at this Jupiterian energy, because we've also got Jupiter changing sign this year, moving into that energy of Taurus, and Jupiter is going to change sign and move into Taurus May 17th. Okay, so as we see Jupiter make this jump, as we could call it, I suppose, into the energy of Taurus, we've also got this space to understand the expansion of your 10th house energy. But first, I just want to say this: keep in mind, Jupiter is going to run through Aries and Taurus this year. It is very quick. So your 9th house, publishing, marketing, broadcasting, that Aries energy, it's going, it's expanding. You know, if you've got this call to travel or do something long distance or something that expands you out, even higher education advancement, right? It's going to happen quite quickly. And then you need to be ready and put your emotional seatbelts on, because in a very tangible, practical, earth sign kind of way, Jupiter is going to move into this Taurus energy. And it is like the promotion, the raise, the recognition, you're stepping up and sharing your wisdom, or maybe becoming a coach or a teacher in some way, shape, or form, but it becomes a lot more of a public kind of energy. Now, where I will tell you, depending on your particular chart, you do want to be mindful, because Jupiter will simply expand also what's also going on there. So if you are having challenges in your 9th or your 10th houses, right, you're struggling to learn something, you're struggling with getting paperwork together for a legal situation or for that passport, Jupiter will expand that. So again, keep mentors around, keep people around this year, Leo, who you can just grab some advice from. Now, let's say that, you know, the 10th house area is going very, very well. Jupiter will expand it. It will expand whatever's going on, but the invitation is to learn, get the experience, so that you absolutely 1,000% have the wisdom to bring to the table. Okay. All right, my beautiful Leos, I think that this year has a lot of potential. It is going to be up and down. We're dealing with Pluto changing sign, and that will create a pretty big ripple through the energies that we are dealing with. But in terms of your professional life, your reputation in public, there's a lot that is coming around and is available to you. And remember, around your relationship life this year, Leo, if a relationship has to fall out because it's not the right vibration, or a relationship maybe fell out in 2022, whether that be with a friend, a business partner, and a pet, a daily routine, the universe never leaves a hole. So you are fully and wholly supported this year, Leo. So keep that in mind, okay? All right, my beautiful Leos, I will see you all year in the weeklies and the monthlies. We will get more in depth and cover all of the good things. And of course, we'll have plenty of friends over to the channel as well to go a little bit deeper into the astrological discussion and how you can make use of it. Have an absolutely gorgeous 2023, and I'll see you soon.